Hey there, Beecham here. And I have something to say about politics right now. And I have come to a conclusion that I have been triggered and angry because I try to make it all about myself. And that's a character flaw of mine, and I need to work on it. Because here's the truth. When I was working for the Obama campaign in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and tell me it doesn't take a tough person to do that, I became friends with Anita Hill's brother. And then that means you're a lifelong friend if you've been in the trenches with me at the Tulsa State Fair. Democratic booth. I'm a fighter, though. I grew up in Oklahoma as a queer boy, son of a Major League Baseball player. You don't think that takes some metal? I don't know what does. So here's my opinion. Now, I was taking my personal anger out on Biden. And as far as I'm concerned, I wanted Gavin Newsom or Shapiro to be our nominee, or Kamala. Actually, Kamala. I just didn't believe in her enough. I don't believe in voters anymore. I don't. I don't believe that we have the capacity anymore as Americans because of our lack of education. And a lot of it is personal. Whether or not you're willing to fight, if you're a white kid, then you've got to hand it to you. And we need to shut up because, every little thing I do is not going to make up for the fact I'm descended from slavers, which is a shameful thing. I'm sure they were good. They have good qualities too. Like any human being, and it was their culture back then, but it was dead wrong, and it caused a lot of problems in my family and my generations, because you have to dehumanize people in order to enslave them. And how do you think that's going to affect your family life? Not good. There's absolute terrible violence in my family, has been, was been. My great-grandpa moved to Oklahoma to escape justice for killing somebody on the job. So yeah, you pay a price for it, but there's also restitution to be made. So anyway, here's my deal. I don't care if it's the Crypt Keeper with COVID-19 on a ventilator, 2 seconds from freaking death. And he's a Democrat and for democracy. And even if it's Biden the Crypt Keeper, I'm voting for his ass. I don't care who it is. Whatever those idiots up in D.C. decide and put forward, I'll vote for him. And I'll try to get everyone else to vote for him. And I'll get over this crap about me saying I can't lie for Biden. I can't knock doors because I'll get depressed because I can't lie for Biden. I don't have to lie for Biden. All I have to do is say, yeah, he's old, decrepit, and I'd rather have Kamala at the top of the ticket, but we don't. Right now, we do not. And if he is too stubborn to give it up, I do not care. She will be the next president of the United States. You can count on it. If he gets in, that's our Madam President. So vote, get out there and knock doors, make your case, because our case is based on the truth and justice and supporting our Constitution. An oath I took as a 19-year-old. I served on submarines in the Cold War. I had to be a preacher. They made me a preacher. I argued. I asked every man on board as a queer man, and I think they half knew it. Oh, no, we're not going to preach. So I learned a lot. I'm glad it happened. I learned a heck of a lot about my Jesus that I have studied and studied, and he is nowhere near that perversion. The perverted Jesus they worship is Satan. He stands for mammon. He stands for he violates every 7 deadly sin. He violates the golden rule. And yeah, I'm queer, but I'm a damn good parent. I'm monogamous now for years, and I'm mentally ill, but I'm recovering. I'm not going to give up on a total recovery because I think it's possible. And so I'm not giving up on that, but that's where I am. And our side better have some focus, perspective, and sense of proportion. And we need to stop making it about ourselves and start making it about our kids and future grandkids. Because I'm hoping for some future grandkids, Parker. And give him some love and light. He got overworked by Tommy Tupperville's military blockade because Tupperville wants a 2025 Handmaid's Tale revolution, Project 2025. Look it up, it's real. I used to work in D.C. I used to try to fight the Heritage Club. I used to write for America Blog Gay, where I still have the attempt of me to create a change the national prayer breakfast to the C Street breakfast. And that C Street is heritage. And, we lost our democracy back in 2000, believe it or not. That's when Sandra Day O'Connor and all her crew back then voted 5-4 to give the presidency to W. Bush. And those neocons, I like to call them Arbusto Bush because that was his first oil company. Arbusto is Bush in Espanol. So, yeah, like that accent of mine in Spanish. Anyway, yeah, I called him Arbusto Bush and Halliburton Cheney. And if you remember, they outed Valerie Plame so that they could go to war in Iraq. So that was the first huge violation of our nation's intelligence. Past is prologue. Roger Stone caused a riot at Miami-Dade called the Brooks Brothers Riot. And it changed history and taught them that all they had to do was put people in fear and they could get their way. Well, the second attempt didn't work, but the third might. So we have got to make sure that we hold these people accountable. That also means voting for Biden. We need to make sure that our kids and grandkids live in a democracy, and that means voting for Biden. And yeah, if somebody says, oh, Biden acts like he has sundowners, yeah, that means vote for him or you're going to lose your democracy. So they've told us what they're going to do. And Donald Trump has no problem. A malignant narcissist sociopath, which I'm no psychiatrist or psychologist, obvious, right? If you've ever read about it or seen YouTube videos about it, yeah. That's what he is. He showed you who he is. Believe him, like the late, great Maya Angelou told us, and read up on her. She is one of our prophets. So anyway, I'm done here, but vote Biden as if your life depends on it. And hell, I'll be the first one on the Handmaid's Tale wall because I'm willing to do nonviolent civil disobedience and get out in front of those sons of bitches. And if they mow me down, they're going to lose because 10 more people are going to rise up behind me, just like what happened with one of our great prophets, Martin Luther King Jr., and one of our great prophets, Gandhi. And I'm willing to stand before my state house during this next election. And if y'all MAGA and Cowboys for Trump come for me, I don't care what y'all do to me. I've had Nazis after me. I've had 20 death threats from them, and I got the receipts to prove it. I wrote a book about it. From Insanity to Infinity, Diary of a Queer Madman. And if I had the money, I'd buy every single one of y'all a copy. And I swear to God, the prophets are going to build a secondary school in Nicaragua. A dear friend of mine has a kid, and he's having a hard time getting his kid through high school because we've destroyed that country back in 1980. With those Central American wars, there's not a damn good thing that has panned out for many ultra-conservative in our government. Maybe 2% of what they've done might be considered good. Now, Democrats aren't perfect either, like I said, but 90% of them are. For every 1, we've got 9. For every 9, they've got 1. So what does that tell you? So anyway, that's all for now. I'm working on 11 minutes. I hope you listen to the whole thing because I want every American that believes in democracy. I don't even care if you're a Republican or who you are. You had better vote for Biden if he's at the top of the ticket. And if it's Kamala, you'll wipe the floor with that orange Mussolini. I've seen you prosecute. And you are it, Madam President. You're going to be our next. You're going to be the first female president, and I thank God for it.